Have you noticed that the things you used to tolerate in this world suddenly feel unbearable? The 9 to 5 grind feels like a prison. The endless chase for money and status feels empty. The news, the politics, the social media noise, it all just feels fake. Maybe you look around and think, why does everything seem pointless now? Why does it feel like everyone is playing a game that I don't want to play anymore? You're not crazy. You're not broken. What you're experiencing is a sign that you are starting to wake up. This isn't just boredom or laziness. It's a deep spiritual shift that many traditions have spoken about for thousands of years. Some call it enlightenment. Others call it awakening. And in modern language, many refer to it as breaking free from the Matrix. The Matrix is not just a science fiction movie. It's a symbol. It represents the invisible system of beliefs, habits, and cultural rules that shape the way most of us live without even realizing it. From the moment you were born, you were taught how to behave, what to value, and what to fear. School taught you to obey authority and to fit into schedules. Society told you to chase money, status, and approval. Media told you what beauty looks like, what is normal, and what you should be afraid of. Religion, in many cases, told you that you are separate from the divine and that love or salvation must be earned. This is the Matrix. It's not just politics or corporations. It is a mental operating system running inside almost every human being on the planet. It survives through unconsciousness. It thrives when people are too busy, too tired, or too distracted to question it. But once you start waking up, the program begins to crack, and that is why you are starting to feel the way you feel. Spiritual awakening is not about adopting new beliefs. It's not about joining a new religion or following a new trend. Awakening is about seeing what has always been true, but hidden beneath the noise. You begin to notice the lies. You start to see how the news is designed to keep you afraid and divided. You notice how advertising feeds insecurity just to sell you something. You realize that most people are living on autopilot, chasing goals they never even question. At first, this can be shocking. You might feel angry, frustrated, or even depressed. You might feel like you don't belong anywhere. The jobs, the conversations, the social expectations, they all begin to feel meaningless. This is normal. It is the old version of you, the one who believed in the Matrix, dissolving. Your soul is calling you to something higher, something real, truth, freedom, and inner peace. As your consciousness expands, you start to feel the symptoms of outgrowing the system. You lose interest in shallow conversations. Gossip, small talk, and drama feel unbearable. You can't just do it for the paycheck anymore. The work that once felt fine now feels like you are betraying yourself. You become more sensitive to your surroundings. Crowded malls, loud media, and fake social settings drain your energy. You crave quiet, nature, and authentic connections. You start questioning authority. You no longer accept, because that's the rule, as a valid answer. These symptoms are not problems. They are signs of growth. They show that your soul is rejecting what no longer resonates with its true vibration. But here is where it becomes challenging. Even as you awaken, your ego, the false sense of self built by the Matrix, will resist. The ego fears freedom. It loves control, predictability, and identity. It will try to pull you back by whispering fears into your mind. What if I can't survive outside the system? What will people think if I change? Maybe I'm just overreacting. This is why awakening can feel like an inner war. Part of you wants liberation, while another part clings to the familiar chains. Your discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is the ego dying. The old self is being stripped away, so the real you, consciousness itself, can shine through. The matrix is not going to disappear overnight. The world will not suddenly stop running on money, power, and control. But you don't have to wait for society to change before you begin to live free. Freedom starts inside. It begins the moment you realize that you are not your thoughts, not your job, not your bank account, and not the roles you play. You can start by practicing presence. Whether through meditation, breath work, or simply observing your thoughts, you begin to break the mental program. You simplify your life. You reduce distractions. You limit the endless stream of news and entertainment that feeds fear. You start following your inner guidance. Instead of asking, "What will people think?" you ask, "What feels true in my heart?" You build real connections with people who value authenticity over appearances. You create your own path, defining success for yourself instead of using the matrix's rules. This does not mean you have to escape to a cabin in the woods, though you might feel called to simplify your surroundings. True freedom is not about running away from the world. True freedom is an inner state where no system can control your mind. You can still live in a city, have a job, and interact with society, but your inner peace is no longer for sale. You begin to live by a different rhythm, one guided by presence and truth instead of fear and programming. If you feel like you can't stand the matrix anymore, it is because your soul is ready for truth. You are not here to be a slave to a system. You are here to awaken, to remember that you are infinite consciousness experiencing a temporary human life. The matrix only has power over you when you believe in it. The moment you see the illusion for what it is, you are already free. So breathe. Stay present. Live authentically. Let go of the need to fit in. You were never meant to fit into the system. You came here to transcend it. The world may still be noisy, but once you awaken, its noise can no longer drown out the quiet truth of who you really are.